Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I'm going to write some sentences. Some sentence we greet each other, we say hi to each other to show you how to write Chinese characters. Okay, the first one I want to write is 你好. That is very simple, simple Chinese. 你好. Hello, 你好. 你 is you, 你好 好 is good. 你好 and 你吃了吗 Have you eaten? Have you eaten? That is an old-fashioned way of greeting Chinese. Very old-fashioned. Younger generations don't use or seldomly use this phrase anymore. 你吃了吗？你吃了吗？你 also you 吃了吗？吃 is to eat, and 了 as I said in other videos, this 了 is a suffix of the verb 吃 to indicate that the action happened in the past tense of the main verb. 你吃了吗？吗 We use 吗 in Chinese to form a question, right? 吃了吗 and the question mark. 你吃了吗 Have you eaten or have you eaten already? 你吃了吗 Sometimes it means hello, but if you reply this greeting with no, I didn't, or no, I haven't, do you want to invite me to dinner? So the whole conversation changed. 你吃了吗 No, right? So Chinese used to say, or if this conversation happened between people who are not familiar with each other, basically most of the time Chinese will reply yes, even if that's a lie. Yes, because Chinese don't want to make themselves embarrassed, right? Because if you say no, right? If you say no, that will be very awkward. It's just like, are you okay? How are you doing? You may reply, I'm doing great. Although something terrible might just happen to you. It's the same in Chinese. 你吃了吗 Yes. Although you are starving for 3 days, you would still reply yes. That's a fun part, right? 你吃了吗 And younger generations like to use this phrase. 你干嘛去 So this phrase indicates that Chinese don't respect privacy between people, between friends, very good friends. 你干嘛去干嘛 means doing or do. The sentence means where are you going? Where are you going? This, if you translate this, if you use this phrase in English, that would be very strange, right? Hi, John, where are you going? It's none of your business, right? But in Chinese, 你干嘛去 How to reply this one? 你干嘛去 if you don't want to tell that guy who asks you this, who greets you like this, 你干嘛去 How to reply it? I'm very confused with this greeting because I personally am an honest man. I will tell that person who asked me, I will tell the truth. I'm going to the hospital. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to take a walk. That is my personality. But sometimes you don't do that, right? You don't tell people your private what you're doing in your private time, your privacy. So one way to reply this sentence is 不干嘛，不去哪儿，干嘛去？ So this one 你干嘛去 What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Or where are you going? Both are okay. And 不去哪儿 Nowhere. 不去哪儿 I'm going nowhere. Right? That's the one very smart way to reply. And 不干嘛不去哪儿不干嘛 So the first one 不去哪儿 is the response to 去 go. And the second one 不干嘛 is the response to 干嘛 do what to do what. So in Chinese, the tricky part of Chinese is that verbs or verb phrases appear the same whenever you put it in one sentence. In English, there's finite verb or non-finite verb, right? Verb changes according to their functions or positions in one sentence. But in Chinese, that's not the case. So in this sentence, 你干嘛去? Both meaning what are you doing next or where are you going? So these are the two ways to respond to that greeting. 不去哪儿 I'm going nowhere. Or 不干嘛 right? I'm doing nothing. 不 means no or don't. I don't go anywhere. It's a negative. So 你好你吃了吗你干嘛去 That is a three simplest way to greet Chinese. And if you greet your friend, right, the fun part is you can ask some offensive questions. Like there's one time, I think this is the same between Chinese and American, because there's one time I was in a locker room, in a gym locker room, and this Canadian asked his friends and very senior gentleman. He said, "I thought you dead. I heard you were dead. I heard you dead." And that senior old man, that senior people replies, "That's a rumor. That's a rumor." That is a joke, right? That is a joke. So I believe ways of greeting varies according to the relationship between people, right? Between the distance, the relationship, the connections, or your history with the person you greet. It's the same between Chinese. So if you're very familiar, or if you know the people you greet very well, and he is a kind of person who can take jokes, right? It's not that people who are very easily offended. You can say some fun, you can make some funny sentence with him or her. One is, 你还活着？you, are you still alive? You still alive? It's just like the conversation took place in the locker room. I thought you were dead, right? That's a rumor. Very funny, right? 你还活着? Are you still alive? 你还活着？活着 means alive. Are you still? 还 is still, and 活着 is alive. Are you still alive? 你还活着？ Right. So sometimes the people who respond to a greet say 我还活着 to respond a greeting phrase like how are you doing or how are you like that in Chinese. 你好吗？你好吗？ Are you? How are you? 你好吗? Oh, I will adjust my camera. Okay, 你好吗? How are you? And some people likes to make fun of themselves, right? It's like a self-mocking, right? 我还活着，你好吗？我还好 or 我还好 is the normal way to respond to this one. 你好吗? Are you? How are you? How are you doing? 我还好 I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. Or the fun part is 我还活着 I'm still alive. Not bad. I'm still alive. 我还活着。我还 means still, right? 还 has multiple pronunciations, both 还 and 还, different pronunciations. But in this sentence, it means still. I'm still 活着 alive. I'm still alive. 我还活着. So don't think Chinese great very different from people who speak English. That's not true. From my perspective, Chinese people and Americans, they are basically the same people, and they talk the same way, right? Some people say Chinese don't have humors. That's not true. Chinese people make fun of themselves or others just like Americans. It may because Americans don't understand Chinese or don't speak Chinese, or some bad translators didn't translate those jokes properly, right? As far as I can see, friends they making jokes all the time. 你还活着? Are you still alive? Just like the conversation happened in the locker room. I heard you were dead. That's a rumor, right? 你还活着? Right? There are multiple ways to respond to that sentence. Yep, or still. Yeah, still. Or sorry, I disappointed you. I still alive. So greeting words. So greeting words varies due to the relationship between people, and one difficult part in grasping a language is to how to make jokes or how to speak in a fun way, in a funny way, or how to. That's I believe that's the difficult part. That indicates your master of the language is very level is very high, right? So the time you can use Chinese to make jokes, to make Chinese laugh. That's the time you are an expert in Chinese. Vice versa, Chinese using English. to tell jokes or to talk to do little talks, right? That's the difficult part. So greeting is very simple. It's very basic languages in all languages learning lessons. But what I want to say is you have to, or you must make practice, a lot of practices in doing these greetings, because that's the first impression between people. If you have a fantastic opening conversation, opening words or openings with Chinese or with Americans, the first impression sometimes, right, sometimes have the vital part in creating or establishing relationships between people. All right, I think that's the end of this video. I hope you can enjoy it. If you have any questions, please make some comments. Okay, bye. See you next video.